Society calls this social antipathy, coldness, or difficulty in getting along with others, but science calls it cognitive self-regulation. Needing silence to think is not a flaw. It's a clear sign of how the brain is configured. While many people associate noise with energy and stimulation with productivity, there is a group that functions in exactly the opposite way. The more silence, the more clarity. The less interference, the more deep thought. And no, this is not drama or fussiness. It's biology. The human brain operates at ideal levels of arousal. When this level is exceeded, the nervous system goes into alert mode. Constant sounds, interruptions, notifications, side conversations, and visual stimuli compete for the same mental energy. For some people, this excess doesn't motivate. It blocks the prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning, decision-making, and creativity, simply loses efficiency. Silence, in this case, is not the absence of something. It is the right environment for the brain to function the way it was built thread by thread. The outside world is chaotic by nature. Flashing lights, overlapping sounds, deadlines, opinions, demands. None of it is predictable. Silence, on the other hand, is control. It reduces variables. It diminishes sensory noise. It creates a safe bubble where thought can organize itself. While noise vibrates, silence stabilizes. While excess fragments, emptiness organizes. For those who need this state, thinking amidst chaos is like trying to read a book inside a concert. There's a hidden benefit to this that almost no one talks about. Studies show that periods of silence increase activity related to creativity, introspection, and solving complex problems. People who seek silence tend to connect ideas more deeply, perceive nuances that go unnoticed, and develop less obvious solutions. When the brain is not reacting to external stimuli, it begins to produce richer internal connections. It is in this space that truly good ideas emerge. The problem is that current culture sells the idea that always being busy, available, and noisy is a sign of success. The perfect life seems full of people, sounds, events, and constant movement. But the reality is that peace doesn't get likes. Silence doesn't become a story. And yet, it's in silence that many people find balance. A simple coffee, an open book, no immediate obligations, no forced conversations. This isn't isolation. Here's where the necessary warning comes in. Seeking silence can be healthy, or it can become an escape. There is a big difference between using silence to regulate yourself and using silence to hide from the world. The important question isn't whether silence exists, but what it causes afterward. Does it bring clarity or weight? Does it recharge or isolate you? Does it fulfill you or is it a burden? If this need for silence sounds familiar, this space was created precisely for that purpose. To understand one's own mind without guilt. Identifying with this way of functioning doesn't mean you're wrong. And if this content makes sense, registration happens naturally, because the conversation continues. Silence also resides in small rituals. The soft morning light streaming through the window, the quiet sound of one's own footsteps. A time set aside for uninterrupted thought, the comfortable repetition of simple habits. These details don't draw attention, but they sustain the mind. Ultimately, no one is broken for preferring less stimulation. Some minds don't want volume. They want depth. They don't want haste. They want clarity. Silence is not the absence of life. For some, it's precisely where life begins to make sense. And the next question is even more thought-provoking. Why do some minds become exhausted by people, while others become energized? The next video delves into exactly that, and it will be even more thought-provoking than this one.